Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we are going to talk about how to train your brain for English so you can learn faster, remember more, and speak more confidently in your daily life. This lesson will guide you through simple, natural ways to think in English. Practice English every day and use your brain the same way native speakers do. Before starting, I just want to let you know that we upload English learning videos every day, so subscribe and stay connected with your English journey. When we talk about training the brain for English, we are really talking about building small habits that make the brain feel comfortable with a new language. The brain learns through repetition, emotion, and real-life connection. So today we are going to use all three. Many learners believe that their brain is slow or they are too old to learn a language, but that is not true. Your brain is ready to learn English. It just needs the right kind of input. And in this lesson, I will guide you step by step, like a personal coach, to make your brain more active, more flexible, and more open to English. Imagine I am sitting beside you, speaking softly and clearly, and guiding you like a friend. I want you to feel relaxed, because a stressed brain cannot learn well. So take a breath, relax your shoulders, and let your brain become open to learning. When you feel relaxed, you absorb English more naturally. This is the first step in training your brain. You must feel safe and calm when learning, because a calm mind remembers better and understands deeply. Now let's talk about something very important. Your brain loves patterns. It loves repetition. The more you repeat a word, a sentence, or a feeling, the more your brain accepts it as normal. This is why native speakers speak fluently. They do not translate. They simply use patterns that their brain already knows. So today we will train your brain with simple patterns that you can use every day. I will speak slowly in some moments, and I want you to repeat after me when I say so. Let's start with a very natural pattern your brain can learn easily. Listen to me first. I wake up and I think in English. I open my eyes and I say to myself, "Good morning." Even if it feels strange, even if no one is watching, I still do it. Why? Because your brain needs daily signals. When you wake up and say a few English words, your brain starts forming a habit. It starts accepting English as a normal part of the day. So now, repeat after me slowly. Good morning. I am ready to learn English. I am training my brain. I am improving every day. Feel how calm and simple the words are. This is the style your brain loves. Not fast, not stressful, calm, slow, easy patterns. Training your brain for English means connecting English with your daily life. For example, when you brush your teeth, you can think in English. I am brushing my teeth. I feel fresh. I am starting my morning. When you make your tea or coffee, you can tell yourself, I am making my tea. It smells so good. This is my English moment. When you walk outside, you can observe simple things and describe them in English. The sky is bright. The air is cool. I feel energetic. These simple activities help your brain switch from translating to thinking. Thinking is the real skill. Translation slows you down. But thinking in English makes you faster and more natural. And the good news is that your brain can learn this skill at any age. You don't need to be young. You only need to be consistent. Let's do a small practice session together. I will describe a simple morning situation, and I want you to repeat after me in a slow, relaxed voice. Ready? Here we go. I wake up. I sit up slowly. I take a breath. I feel calm. I start my day. I go to the kitchen. I make my tea. I take my first sip. It feels warm. And I say to myself, I am learning English. I am training my brain. I am improving slowly. But surely, this kind of speaking is not only practice, it is brain training. You are telling your brain, this language belongs to me. And with each small moment, the brain begins to believe you. Now let's talk about another important part of brain training. Your brain remembers things that are emotional. If something makes you smile, or feel curious, or gives you a warm feeling, the brain keeps it longer. So even when you learn new vocabulary, try to connect it with something personal. If you learn the word comfortable, think about your favorite chair or your cozy bed. If you learn the word delicious, imagine your favorite food. When learning becomes personal, your brain becomes active, and active learning is powerful learning. Let's try something emotional together. Think of your favorite food for a moment. Imagine the smell, the taste, the feeling. Now repeat after me. My favorite food is delicious. I enjoy every bite. It makes me happy. This simple emotional connection helps your brain remember. Another way to train your brain is to speak to yourself in English. Many learners are shy about this, but self-talk is one of the most powerful tools in language learning. You don't need another person all the time. You can practice alone and become stronger. When you talk to yourself, you are training your thoughts to form English sentences naturally. When you think in English, you don't need to search for words. They come more easily. Let's try one more brain training exercise. Think of something simple you did today. Anything. Now I will guide you to describe it. Repeat after me. Today I walked. I looked around. I noticed small details. I felt present. I spoke to myself in English. I practiced my thinking. I trained my brain. The more you do this, the more English becomes part of your daily life. And when English becomes part of your daily life, fluency begins to grow without pressure. We are moving smoothly through this lesson, and we will continue exploring deeper ways to train your brain for English. There is so much more to learn and practice together, and I will guide you step by step. When we think about training the brain for English, it is important to understand that your brain learns through small signals repeated many times, not through big, stressful study sessions. Many learners study for 1 hour and then stop for several days, and the brain forgets because the rhythm disappears. The brain loves rhythm. It loves patterns. It loves small but regular moments. That is why short daily moments of English are more powerful than long study hours once a week. Even 5 minutes of calm, focused English thinking can create a strong habit that lasts for years. So as you listen to this lesson, begin imagining these small moments in your day. Imagine waking up and thinking in English for 1 minute. Imagine describing your food in English for 30 seconds. Imagine speaking to yourself quietly when you close your eyes at night. These small whispers train your brain more than you expect. Another important part of brain training is understanding that mistakes are not barriers. They are signals. They tell your brain to adjust, try again, and grow stronger. Many learners feel embarrassed when they make mistakes, so they avoid speaking. But every time you avoid speaking, your brain loses a chance to build connections. Think of mistakes like stretching your mind. When you stretch, it feels strange, but eventually you become more flexible. The same is true with language. So as your personal coach, I want you to accept your mistakes with a soft heart. Tell yourself, mistakes help my brain grow. Say it softly in your mind right now. Let the idea feel warm and safe inside you. To help your brain become more comfortable with English, you need to create simple routines. For example, when you walk, choose one object near you and describe it in your mind. If you see a tree, you can say, "This tree is tall. Its leaves are bright. The air feels fresh." If you see a cup in your hand, you can say, "My cup is warm. I am holding it gently. I am enjoying this moment." These short descriptions build thinking muscles in your brain, and when your thinking muscles grow, speaking becomes easier. You no longer need to translate, because your brain already knows how to form English pictures. Let's practice together. Look around you right now. Choose any simple object near you. It could be a book, your phone, a blanket, a plant, anything. Hold that object in your mind. Now repeat after me slowly. I see this object. I look at it closely. I notice its shape. I notice its color. I describe it softly in English. My brain is learning. My mind feels calm. I am improving gently. This slow, mindful thinking helps your brain become familiar with English without pressure. It is like giving your mind a quiet space to breathe in a new language. Another powerful way to train your brain is through association. Association means connecting a new English word with something you already know. For example, if you learn the word relax, you can connect it with a moment when you sit on your bed after a long day. If you learn the word busy, you can think of a day when you had many tasks. When your brain sees a new word, it asks, "Where does this fit into my life?" If you give it a story, a moment, or a feeling, the brain says, "Yes, this is mine now." That is how long-term memory grows. Let's practice association with a simple daily life scenario. Think of the word peaceful. Close your eyes for one moment, if you can. Imagine a peaceful place. Maybe it is your room. Maybe it is a quiet evening. Maybe it is the sound of rain outside your window. Now say it with me slowly. This moment is peaceful. I feel peaceful. Peaceful means calm and quiet. My brain remembers this feeling. You see how personal and emotional this becomes. This is how the brain learns deeply. Now let's talk about another technique called shadow thinking. Many learners know shadowing, where you repeat after a speaker. But shadow thinking is when you silently think the next word in English before you say it. It is like preparing your thoughts gently. If you hear me say, "I wake up," "I sit up," "I stretch my arms," "I drink water," your brain can begin predicting the rhythm of English sentences. With time, this prediction becomes automatic, and that automatic feeling is what we call fluency. Let's try a simple shadow thinking session. Listen to my rhythm. Imagine the next word even before I say it. Ready? I wake up. I stand up. I walk slowly. I open the window. I breathe the fresh air. I feel awake. I start my day. This style of training prepares your brain to move faster without stress. You are not forcing English. You are allowing it to flow. Now I want to talk about the power of consistency. Consistency does not mean studying for hours. It means showing up every day. When you show up every day, your brain builds stronger pathways. Think of your brain like a path in a garden. If you walk on the same path every day, the path becomes clear and easy. But if you walk once a week, the path grows wild and difficult. English is the same. When you practice daily, even for a few minutes, your brain's English path becomes clear and smooth, and soon, speaking feels natural, not forced. Let's do a gentle consistency practice. Imagine yourself tomorrow morning. Imagine you wake up and say a few English words. Imagine you listen to a short English lesson. Imagine you speak one simple sentence out loud. Now repeat after me. I am consistent. I show up every day. My brain learns step by step. I am patient. I am growing. This kind of gentle affirmation trains your brain to believe in your progress. And now that we're moving deeper into the lesson, this is a good moment to say something important. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. It helps you stay motivated, and it helps our channel continue making lessons for learners like you. Another way to train your brain is through visualization. Visualization means imagining yourself speaking English confidently. The brain cannot always tell the difference between imagination and reality, so when you imagine yourself speaking clearly, your brain begins preparing your body and voice for that experience. This is a powerful technique used by athletes, performers, and language learners. When you visualize success, your brain supports you instead of resisting. Let's try a visualization exercise together. Close your eyes if you can. Imagine yourself in a simple conversation. Imagine you say hello confidently. Imagine the other person smiles. Imagine you answer questions calmly. Imagine your mind feels clear. Now repeat after me slowly. I am confident. I speak calmly. I trust myself. My brain supports me. I enjoy learning. These soft affirmations create a safe emotional space for English in your mind. When you train your brain for English, another powerful idea is building mental shortcuts. Mental shortcuts are small patterns your brain learns so well that it no longer needs to think deeply about them. For example, that when you say, I want to, or I need to, or I'm going to, your brain doesn't need to translate because you have learned these as complete patterns, not as separate words. Learning English in patterns helps your mind relax. It reduces stress. It allows you to think more naturally. So right now, let's repeat a few patterns together in a soft, calm voice. Repeat after me slowly. I want to learn English. I need to practice daily. I am going to improve. I want to speak confidently. I need to trust myself. I am going to keep learning. Every time you repeat these patterns, your brain becomes a little more familiar with English rhythm. Another way to strengthen your brain is by connecting English to activities you already do every day. This is called habit stacking. It means you attach English to something you already do automatically. For example, every time you drink water, you say one English sentence. Every time you check your phone, you think of one English word. Every time you wash your hands, you describe something around you in English. These small connections help your brain attach English to familiar moments. And when English becomes part of your habits, it becomes easier and easier to use. Let's try a short habit stacking exercise together. Imagine you are washing your hands. Feel the water. Feel the movement. Now repeat after me. I am washing my hands. I feel the water. This moment is simple. This moment is calm. I can think in English. Now imagine you are opening your phone. Repeat after me. I unlock my phone. I choose one English word. I let my brain practice. These tiny connections will slowly rewrite the way your mind works with language. You also need to trust that your brain learns even when you are not studying. This is called passive learning. Your brain absorbs patterns from sounds, rhythm, and tone, even if you don't understand every word. When you listen to English while cooking, cleaning, walking, or relaxing, your brain builds familiarity. It begins to recognize common structures. It begins to predict meaning. And this prediction skill is the heart of fluency. So don't worry if you don't understand everything. Your brain is still working quietly, gently, and steadily. Let's practice passive-style listening right now. I will speak slowly and naturally. Just listen and let the rhythm enter your mind. I am here with you, guiding you, step by step. Your brain is open and learning. You are improving, even when it feels slow. Learning is happening inside you, simply by paying attention. This peaceful listening helps your brain trust English, and trust is one of the strongest foundations of fluency. Another important idea is practicing with real-life language. Textbooks are helpful, but your brain learns best when the language feels alive. For example, instead of practicing sentences like, "The cat is on the table," practice sentences from your real routine, such as, "I am making dinner," "I am leaving for work," "I am sending a message," "I am finishing my tea." These everyday sentences teach your brain that English is part of your life, not a school subject. Let's try a real-life mini-practice. Repeat after me slowly. I am drinking water. I am opening the door. I am looking outside. I am walking to the kitchen. I am preparing food. I am checking the time. I am relaxing for a moment. I am training my brain. These sentences are simple, but they help your brain create strong, automatic English thinking patterns. Something else that helps your brain is speaking in micro-sentences. Micro-sentences are very short. Simple sentences that are quick to think and speak. Instead of forcing long, complicated sentences, speak short, clear ones. Your brain feels safe with simplicity. Safe learning becomes fast learning. So instead of thinking, "I will try to practice English every evening to improve my speaking confidence," you can simply say, "I practice every day. I am improving. I feel confident." The shorter the sentence, the easier for the brain, and the easier it feels, the faster you grow. Let's practice micro-sentences together. Repeat after me. I learn slowly. I grow daily. I speak calmly. I feel progress. I trust my mind. I enjoy learning. These small sentences relax your brain and open space for faster, smoother English thinking. Now let's move into another powerful technique called English labeling. Labeling means you name things in English as you look at them. If you look at your bag, say bag. If you look at your shoes, say shoes. If you look at the window, say window. This simple habit trains your brain to think in English automatically. When you walk through your home, you can label objects silently or softly. The brain begins to connect English words with the objects instantly, without translating. This builds natural fluency. Let's practice labeling together right now. Picture your room. Picture one object. Now say the name of that object softly in English. Good. Now choose another object. Say its name. Now choose one more. Labeling like this keeps your mind active but calm, helping you learn naturally throughout your day. Another brain training method is called time anchoring. Time anchoring means practicing English at the same time every day, even for 1 minute. When you practice at the same time, your brain begins expecting English. It becomes more alert. It becomes ready to learn. For example, if you practice English every morning for 2 minutes, your brain prepares itself automatically. The practice becomes easier, smoother, and stronger. Think about a time in your day that feels peaceful, maybe morning, maybe afternoon, maybe night. Now imagine yourself practicing English at that moment every day. Repeat after me. I choose a time. I practice daily. My brain remembers. My mind becomes stronger. This approach builds a deep, fluent habit inside you. Another simple yet powerful technique is translation switching. This means that when you catch yourself translating, you gently switch to thinking in English. For example, if you think in your native language, then you notice it, and you switch to English without judgment. You simply say, "Let me think in English." This gentle awareness trains your brain to move away from translating. Let's practice a soft switching moment. Repeat after me. I catch myself. I switch to English. I think softly. I feel relaxed. My brain learns this pattern. Over time, English thinking becomes natural because you remind your brain again and again in a calm and patient way. There is also something called moment-based speaking. This means speaking English in small moments throughout your day. When you open your fridge, say one sentence in English. When you step outside, say one sentence. When you sit down, say one sentence. These tiny speaking moments create stronger pathways in your brain. Let's practice moment-based speaking. Imagine you are opening your fridge. Repeat after me. I open the fridge. I see the food. I choose something simple. Now imagine you are going outside. Repeat. I open the door. I feel the air. I begin my day. These small actions create big transformations inside your brain. We will continue gently building these techniques and practicing them more deeply. As you continue training your brain for English, you will notice something interesting. The more English you bring into your daily life, the less effort your mind needs to use. English begins to feel lighter, softer, easier. You begin to understand phrases without translating. You start forming sentences without thinking too much. This is a sign that your brain is adapting. It is building new pathways. It is accepting English as a normal part of your thinking. And this process becomes even stronger when you practice something called situational imagination. Situational imagination means imagining a real situation and speaking English inside that moment. Your brain responds very strongly to mental pictures. When you imagine something, Your brain activates the same areas as if you are actually doing it. So when you imagine yourself speaking English in a shop, or asking a question, or ordering food, your brain learns faster because the scenario feels real. Let's try a situational imagination exercise. Imagine you walk into a small shop. You see the items on the shelves. You walk toward the counter. Now repeat after me in a slow, natural tone. Hello. Do you have this in a different size? Thank you. That's perfect. Have a good day. These sentences may look simple, but your brain is practicing the rhythm, the confidence, and the real-life connection. You are teaching your brain to feel comfortable in situations you face every day. Now imagine a different scenario. Imagine you are traveling or visiting a new place. You see a person nearby. You need to ask for directions. Repeat after me. Excuse me, can you help me? I'm looking for this place. Thank you so much. Your brain learns to respond to situations calmly when you practice them in a peaceful space like this. Training your brain for English also means calming the fear center in your mind. Fear stops fluency. Confidence grows fluency. When you feel afraid to speak, your brain becomes tense. When your brain becomes tense, it blocks the natural flow of language. So the first step is creating a soft, emotional environment. You need to tell yourself gently, "It's okay. I'm learning. I'm improving. I don't need to be perfect." These small thoughts change your brain chemistry. They turn fear into calmness, and calmness into clarity. Let's practice a calming self-talk session. Repeat after me softly. I am doing my best. I am learning step by step. I don't need to be perfect. I only need to try. My brain learns when I am calm. I trust myself. These gentle statements help your brain relax, and a relaxed brain learns much faster. Another method to train your brain for English is recognizing patterns in the language. English is full of repeated structures. Once your brain learns these structures, you can understand and speak without thinking too much. For example, many English sentences follow simple formulas like I want to, I like to, I decided to, I tried to, I need to. When your brain learns these patterns, it doesn't need to translate individual words. It simply follows the structure like a pathway. Let's repeat a few of these patterns together. I want to improve. I need to practice. I like to learn new words. I decided to change my routine. I try to speak every day. These repeated forms help your brain understand English as a series of familiar patterns instead of separate words. Now let's explore another powerful idea called internal dialogue. Internal dialogue is the conversation you have with yourself in your mind. Many people speak to themselves silently throughout the day. You might think about what you're doing, what you need to do next, or how you feel. If you convert this internal dialogue into English, even for a few seconds at a time, your brain will learn extremely quickly. You don't need to speak out loud. You only need to think in English. Let's practice a short internal dialogue right now. Imagine yourself preparing a meal. Begin speaking in your mind. I'm cutting the vegetables. I'm adding the spices. I'm cooking slowly. I'm almost done. Now imagine you are getting ready to leave your home. I'm putting on my shoes. I'm checking my bag. I'm ready to go. This inner conversation is one of the strongest forms of brain training. Another technique that many successful learners use is memory looping. Memory looping means repeating the same sentence at different moments in your day. For example, if your sentence is, "I am improving every day," you say it in the morning, again in the afternoon, and again before bed. The repeated message becomes a loop in your brain, and your brain begins to believe it. This belief creates motivation, and motivation creates consistent learning. Let's create a memory loop now. Repeat after me slowly. I am improving every day. I am improving every day. I am improving every day. Feel the words. Let them settle into your mind. This loop becomes a quiet motivation that strengthens your learning. Another technique is called slow thinking. Slow thinking means giving your brain time to form a clear English sentence without rushing. When you rush, you forget. When you slow down, you remember. Slow thinking helps build confidence and clarity. When you speak slowly, your brain has space to choose the right words. You can think in English without fear. Slow is not weak. Slow is powerful. It is the foundation of strong fluency. Let's practice slow thinking together. Repeat after me with soft pauses. I speak slowly. I think clearly. I choose simple words. I feel confident. My mind is calm. This slow rhythm helps your brain adapt to English in a peaceful way. Another method is description expansion. Description expansion means describing one thing with more detail. When you describe something, your brain begins linking more English words together. For example, instead of saying, "The room is nice," you can say, "The room is nice, it is quiet, the light is soft, I feel comfortable here." This helps your brain build longer sentences naturally without pressure. Let's try this now. Imagine your room. Repeat after me. My room is quiet. The air feels soft. The light is gentle. I feel peaceful here. This slow expansion helps your brain form sentences in a natural way. Another helpful idea is sensory language. Sensory language means connecting English with your senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. When you include senses in your sentences, your brain remembers them more deeply because sensory memories are strong memories. Let's practice sensory language. I see the sunlight. I hear the small sounds around me. I feel the air on my skin. I smell the food cooking. I taste something warm. Your brain responds to these sensory details and stores the language more powerfully. And now, imagine using these techniques throughout your day, speaking softly, thinking in English, labeling objects, expanding sentences, using patterns, practicing calmness, imagining situations, creating small moments of English thinking. Suddenly, English becomes part of your life, not something separate. Your brain begins to switch automatically, and with time, fluency becomes natural. As your brain becomes more comfortable with English, you will start noticing small changes. You will understand sentences a little faster. You will think of simple words without translating. You will feel a little more confident when you try to speak. These small changes are signs that your brain is adapting gently. Learning a language is not about big jumps. It is about small, invisible steps that slowly become strong. Your brain is always learning, even when you don't see the results immediately. The process is quiet and steady, like water shaping a stone. And the more peaceful your learning environment, the faster your brain absorbs English naturally. Another important technique for training your brain is repetition with variation. Repetition alone helps you remember. Variation helps your brain stay active. When you repeat a sentence in different ways, your brain begins to understand the structure instead of just memorizing the exact words. For example, if you say, "I'm going to the market," you can create small variations like, "I'm going to the store," or "I'm going to buy something," or "I'm going out for a moment." These slight changes teach your brain flexibility, which is the heart of fluency. Let's practice repetition with variation. Repeat after me slowly. I'm learning English. I'm improving in English. I'm getting better every day. I'm growing stronger in English. I feel progress inside me. You see? The meaning stays similar, but the expressions change. This teaches your brain to move with the language, not freeze or hesitate. Another way to train your brain is through predictive listening. Predictive listening means listening to English and guessing what might come next. Your brain loves patterns and naturally tries to predict sentences. The more you practice predicting, the faster your listening skills develop. You don't need to be correct every time. The act of trying is what trains your brain. Let's try a simple predictive listening exercise. I will say a sentence slowly, and before I finish it, try to guess the last word in your mind. I'm going to make a cup of. Now finish it in your mind. Maybe you thought tea or coffee. Now try another. I'm feeling a little. Maybe you thought tired or hungry. One more. Today I want to learn something. Maybe you guessed new. These predictions help your brain create fast connections. Another helpful technique is verbal reflection. Verbal reflection means listening to an English sentence and responding with your own simple sentence. You don't need to repeat the same sentence. You simply reflect the idea back in your own words. This helps your brain learn both comprehension and production at the same time. Let's try verbal reflection. I will say a sentence. Then you create your own sentence softly. Here we go. I woke up early today. Now you say something about your morning. Good. One more. I made something simple for breakfast. Now say your version. One more. I'm learning English step by step. Now you say your version. This kind of reflection strengthens both sides of your language brain, understanding and speaking. Something else that helps your brain is focus shifting. Focus shifting means switching your attention between meaning and sound. Sometimes you focus on the meaning of the sentence. Sometimes you focus on how the words sound. Sometimes you focus on rhythm. Sometimes you focus on emotion. This allows your brain to learn English from different angles, making the knowledge deeper and more flexible. Let's practice focus shifting with one sentence. We'll use I'm learning every day. First, repeat it and focus on the meaning. I'm learning every day. Now repeat and focus on the sound. I'm learning every day. Now repeat and focus on rhythm. I'm learning every day. Now repeat with soft emotion. I'm learning every day. You can feel how different the sentence becomes depending on your focus. This trains your brain to experience English in multiple ways. Now let's talk about something equally important: rest. Your brain needs rest to learn. If you study too long without breaks, your brain becomes tired and cannot store information well. Short breaks help your mind process what you learned. This is called consolidation. When you take a break, your brain organizes the information, moves it to long-term memory, and strengthens the connections. Learning happens during rest as much as during practice. So never feel guilty for taking small breaks. Breaks are part of the training. Let's practice a gentle pause together. Breathe slowly. Relax your shoulders. Let your mind soften. Now repeat after me. I allow my brain to rest. Rest helps me learn. I feel calm. I feel clear. This peaceful moment helps your brain get ready for more English. Another technique is called emotion anchoring. Your brain remembers emotional moments much more strongly than neutral moments. If you connect an English phrase with a positive feeling, your brain will store it more easily. For example, if you learn the phrase, "I'm proud of myself," and you say it during a happy moment, your brain will keep that phrase deep inside your memory. Let's create an emotional anchor now. Think of something good you did recently. Something small. Something simple. Now repeat after me. I'm proud of myself. I'm improving. I'm doing well. I deserve to learn. This connection between emotion and language creates deep memory. Now let's explore environmental input. Environmental input means changing your surroundings slightly to remind your brain of English. You don't need to change anything big. You can put one English word on your desk. You can write a small English affirmation on your wall. You can place a short sentence near your mirror. Every time you look at it, your brain receives a small English signal. These signals add up. They train your mind without effort. Imagine you place a note that says, "I can learn." Every time you see it, even for 1 second, your brain receives a message of possibility. Now repeat with me. I can learn. I am learning. I will learn. These tiny moments create strong progress. Another brain training technique is gentle correction. This means when you notice a mistake, you correct it softly without judging yourself. Your brain learns better when correction feels safe rather than stressful. If you make a mistake, you simply say, "Let me try again." No punishment, no negative thoughts, just gentle correction. Repeat after me. I learn from every mistake. I correct myself gently. I improve with kindness. My brain grows with patience. This supportive attitude opens your mind to faster learning. You can also train your brain using context linking. Context linking means you connect a new word with a place, situation, or person. For example, if you learn the word relax, connect it with your sofa. If you learn the word active, connect it with your morning walk. When your brain links a word to a context, the memory becomes strong and long-lasting. Let's practice context linking. Think of your bed. Now say comfortable. Think of your favorite food. Now say delicious. Think of your daily routine. Now say simple. These connections make English more meaningful to your brain. We will continue building these techniques more deeply. As you keep training your brain for English, you will begin to notice that some words come to your mind more quickly than before. This is the result of something called active exposure. The more your brain sees a word, hears a word, or thinks about a word, the faster it becomes at recognizing it. Your brain builds a strong pathway to that word and can access it almost automatically. This is why regular exposure is so important. Even if you don't study seriously every day, Just listening to English or reading small English sentences can make a big difference. Your brain works in the background even when you don't realize it. One simple way to increase exposure is to replace small parts of your daily life with English. For example, you can change your phone language to English. At first, it may feel unusual, but soon you will forget it was ever different. Your brain adapts quickly. You see English words while opening apps, settings, contacts, and notifications. Without studying, your brain absorbs new vocabulary naturally. Even if it feels small, these daily touches of English add up over time and create strong familiarity. Let's practice an exposure moment together. Imagine opening your phone right now. Picture the home screen, the small icons, the words underneath them. Repeat after me. Messages, settings, calendar, notes, music. These simple words, repeated in calm moments, help your brain develop stronger English awareness. Another technique that strengthens the brain is called situation bridging. Situation bridging means you connect English to different parts of your day so that your brain begins to expect English in new places. For example, you can practice English while walking, sitting, eating, or relaxing. You gently bring English into each moment, not in a stressful way, but in a soft, natural way. Let's try a bridging scenario. Imagine you are walking outside. Feel the air. Feel your steps. Now repeat after me. I am walking. I feel the air. I hear the sounds. I think in English. Notice how peaceful it feels. Now imagine you are eating something simple. I take a bite. It tastes good. I enjoy this moment. I think in English. These little bridges help your brain treat English as a normal part of your everyday life. Another powerful idea is memory visualization. This means connecting English with a mental picture. Your brain remembers pictures faster than words. So if you connect a word with a visual image, your memory becomes strong. For example, when you learn the word sunny, imagine a bright sky. When you learn cold, imagine yourself holding something chilled. When you learn busy, imagine a crowded street. These pictures help your brain store meaning more deeply. Let's practice memory visualization. I will say a word. Picture it clearly. Then repeat the word. Rainy. Imagine raindrops. Now repeat rainy. Warm. Imagine holding a warm cup. Now repeat warm. Quiet. Imagine a peaceful room. Now repeat quiet. These pictures activate a deeper part of your memory and strengthen your learning. Something else that helps your brain is called pattern echoing. Pattern echoing is similar to shadowing but lighter and more flexible. Instead of repeating every word immediately, you simply echo the structure softly after hearing it. This gives your brain a chance to understand and then produce the sentence on its own. Let's try pattern echoing. Listen to my sentence. I am preparing dinner right now. Now you create your own version. Good. Another. I am getting ready to leave. Now echo it with your own meaning. Excellent. One more. I am learning something new today. Now echo it softly. This gentle echoing trains your brain to use patterns naturally. Another important technique is daily recall. Daily recall means remembering a few English phrases you heard earlier in the day. When you recall something, your brain becomes very active and strengthens the memory. You can recall a word while brushing your teeth, or recall a sentence while walking to another room. The key is to remember, naturally, without pressure. Let's practice recall right now. I will pause for a quiet moment. Think of any English sentence from earlier in the lesson. Hold it in your mind. Now repeat that sentence softly. Good. This small act of recall builds strong memory pathways. Another method is self-questioning. Self-questioning means asking yourself simple questions in English and answering them in English. Even if the answers are short, your brain becomes more alert and active when you ask questions. It prepares your mind for real conversations and trains your speaking confidence. Let's try a self-questioning practice. Repeat after me. What am I doing right now? I am learning English. How do I feel? I feel calm. What do I want? I want to improve. These small questions wake up your brain. They guide your thoughts into English. Now let's practice a slightly deeper self-questioning moment. Repeat the questions in your mind and answer softly. What did I learn today? What is one thing I want to practice more? What small step can I take tomorrow? These reflections help your brain organize knowledge. Another powerful technique is moment narration. Moment narration means describing what is happening right now in simple English sentences. Your brain learns best when the language matches the current moment because it feels real, not imaginary. When you describe your actions in real time, your brain builds strong language connections. Let's practice moment narration. Describe what you are doing right now. Repeat after me. I am listening. I am learning. I am focusing. I am training my brain. This is a gentle but powerful technique. Another technique is emotional grounding. Emotional grounding means using English to describe how you feel, even if the feeling is simple. When you express emotions in English, your brain learns to connect language with internal experiences. This builds stronger emotional fluency, which helps in real conversations. Let's practice emotional grounding. Repeat after me. I feel curious. I feel calm. I feel focused. I feel hopeful. These emotional expressions help your brain understand English on a deeper level. Another key idea for brain training is micro goals. Micro goals are tiny goals you set for yourself every day. They might be simple, like learn one new word, or think in English for 1 minute, or listen to English for 2 minutes. When you achieve micro goals, your brain feels successful. Success increases motivation. Motivation increases consistency. Consistency increases fluency. Repeat after me. I set small goals. I achieve them. I feel successful. My brain grows stronger. This creates a positive learning cycle inside your mind. Another important idea is soft correction memory. This means when you correct yourself, you do it in a gentle way that teaches your brain without fear. For example, if you say he go, and then you remember he goes, you simply correct it softly. He goes. Yes. That's right. This gentle correction teaches your brain the right pattern without stress. Repeat after me. I correct myself softly. I learn gently. I grow with kindness. This attitude supports your brain and prevents fear from interrupting your learning. As your brain becomes more trained for English, you will notice that daily situations start to feel like small practice opportunities. You will look at something and the English word will appear. You will think a thought and the English version will follow. You will hear something familiar and your mind will naturally respond in English. These are not accidents. These are signs of a trained brain, a brain that has accepted English as a natural part of thinking. And when you reach this stage, everything becomes easier, smoother, and more enjoyable. Another technique that supports this process is called emotional repetition. Emotional repetition means repeating a sentence with a feeling, not just with your voice. When you add emotion, your brain pays more attention and remembers for a longer time. Emotion tells your brain, this is important. So when you repeat something like, I can speak English, try to say it with confidence, not just sound. When you repeat, I will keep learning, say it with a hopeful feeling. Your brain learns through emotion more deeply than through plain repetition. Let's practice emotional repetition together. Repeat softly with me. I can speak English. Say it with a warm feeling. Now, I will keep learning. Say it with hope. Now, I trust myself. Say it with calmness. These emotional touches help your brain connect language with meaning. Another helpful method is moment reflection. Moment reflection means thinking about what you just learned or practiced. This reflection helps your brain organize information and make stronger connections. You can do this at the end of the day. Think of one English phrase you used. Think of one English word you remembered. Think of one English moment you practiced. This reflection signals to your brain that English is part of your identity. Let's try a small reflection right now. Repeat after me. Today I practiced. Today I learned. Today I improved. My brain is growing. These gentle reflections help your mind store new language more clearly. Another powerful idea for brain training is creating your own English micro-stories. Micro-stories are very short stories you tell yourself in English. They don't need to be complicated. They can be about your day, your feelings, or something simple that happened. When you tell small stories, your brain learns to connect ideas in English naturally. It trains your mind to move from sentence to sentence smoothly, like flowing water. Let's create a short micro-story together. Repeat after me slowly. This morning I woke up. I felt relaxed. I opened the window. The air was quiet. I made a cup of tea. I said to myself, today I will practice English. This small story teaches your brain rhythm, connection, and emotional meaning. Another excellent method is future imagining. This means imagining yourself speaking English fluently in the future. You might imagine yourself talking comfortably with someone. You might imagine traveling. You might imagine a job interview. When you imagine your future self, your brain becomes motivated. It begins preparing pathways for that future moment. Your brain likes to move toward the images you create. Let's practice future imagining together. Close your eyes if you can. Picture yourself speaking English clearly. Picture someone listening to you with interest. Picture yourself understanding their words. Picture the confidence in your voice. Now repeat after me. I will speak fluently. I will communicate clearly. I will feel confident. My brain is preparing for this. Visualization is one of the strongest psychological tools for learning. Another useful technique is observation training. Observation training means paying attention to English around you, even when you're not studying. You might notice English words on packaging, signs, labels, or online. When you notice these small things, your brain becomes more active in English. You begin seeing English as part of your world, not something far away. Right now, imagine you are walking through your day. Picture the small English words you might see, maybe on your phone, on a website, on a product, on a sign. Repeat after me. I notice English. I welcome English. English is around me. My brain absorbs it. This awareness creates a natural learning environment. Another technique is active summarizing. Active summarizing means thinking about something simple you did and explaining it in English in 1 or 2 sentences. You don't need to be perfect. The goal is to train your brain to express ideas clearly. For example, you can say, I cooked something simple today, or I cleaned my room, or I watched a short video. These small summaries train your thinking muscles. Let's practice active summarizing. Think about something you did recently. Now put it into a simple English sentence in your mind. Now repeat after me. I can explain my day. I can express myself. I can find the words. My brain knows how to grow. These small statements encourage your mind to stay active. As your brain grows stronger, you may also notice your confidence rising. Confidence is a major part of fluency. A confident brain speaks more. A confident brain listens more openly. A confident brain takes more risks, and risks lead to growth. That is why we constantly practice calmness, self-care, positive thinking, and emotional grounding, because a relaxed and confident brain learns far more effectively than a stressed one. Let's practice a final confidence-building moment. Repeat after me. I am capable. I am learning. I am growing. I am improving every day. My brain can handle this. These words help your mind build a positive relationship with English. Now imagine yourself tomorrow. Imagine waking up and using one English phrase. Imagine thinking one simple English sentence as you prepare your breakfast. Imagine speaking one calm English sentence during your day. These small moments will guide your brain into a steady, natural rhythm of English thinking. Fluency is not built in big, dramatic sessions. Fluency is built in tiny, gentle moments that slowly shape your mind. Repeat after me slowly. I learn in small moments. I grow gently. I am patient. I enjoy the process. English is becoming part of me. These words strengthen your connection with the language. Before we end this lesson together, I want to remind you of something very important. Your progress might feel slow today, but your brain is always learning. Every time you think in English, every time you speak a sentence, every time you listen carefully, you are building a stronger version of yourself. You are shaping your future fluency. You are proving to yourself that you can do this. And you can. You absolutely can. You are improving. You are learning. You are becoming more confident, step by step, moment by moment. And I am proud of you for being here, practicing, and growing with me. You are not alone in this journey. I am here to guide you, support you, and help you train your brain for English every single day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself, and keep taking small steps forward. They all add up to something powerful. And before you go, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons.